Hey guys, we're going to continue on to talk about some defensive line play here in our base defense. We're going to talk about keys and reads, or what how to react to certain types of blocks. So we're going to talk about 5 different types of blocks that a defensive lineman might see, and then how to react to it. First one is a base block. A base block is when that offensive lineman that you're shaded on. Right now we got a D tackle. We got strong right as an offense. So this D tackle is going to be in the weak B gap. He's in a 4-eye, and this offensive tackle is just going to block him in the direction that he's already shaded in. Okay, guards blocking somebody else, and so it's just a one-on-one matchup. So how do we defeat a base block? Is we get back to these things of our technique. So the hand placement on the offensive tackle, it's going to be on the breastplate. It's going to be on the tricep or the elbow when we're working for extension. So in this scenario, we're going to simply get our eyes in our weak B gap and find the football. Okay, but we're going to maintain B gap in this scenario, and once we find football, then we disengage with that offensive tackle and chase it down. So if the football is going to end up to the outside, well, we got to be able to cross face of this offensive tackle. Okay, don't go around, but go across his face in order to get to the football. If the football is going away from you, we got to disengage, get flat on a great pursuit angle, and sprint that thing down. Okay, so that would be just a very basic base block. The second type of block that we're going to experience is a double team, and that's when, again, the same thing happens. We're on a 4-eye here, or weak B gap. This offensive tackle is going to go ahead and get into you, but now he's going to get help from a guard. They're going to double you. So how to defeat a double team is the same thing as the base block. Hand placement, work for arm extension, but now as you see the double coming down, now you want to throw your hips and your back into the double team. And so now our hands are going to be here on this offensive tackle, but our butt and our hips and our back is going to be towards this offensive guard that's doubling. That doesn't allow these two guys to get hip to hip. When these guys get hip to hip, then all of a sudden they can double their bench press, double their squats, and create more power and move you. But if they're not, now all of a sudden you're going to win this battle with a double. So if my hands, but then I throw my back and my butt into the guard or the double teamer, now all of a sudden I can split the double team because I'm not allowing them to get hip to hip. So that's how we defeated a double. An off block is when the person in front of you, he leaves for some reason, and the adjacent lineman down blocks and comes and off blocks you. Okay, so obviously in this scenario, he's blocking you this direction. That means the play is happening somewhere over here. So what we want to do is we don't want to go on this side of the block. We want to go on this side of an off block. Some great technique there is going to be just simply cross and face with a punch and rip. But a lot of off blocks, great way to defeat a great off block is to sit and spin. Quickness, this guy's coming far away. He's probably going to be leaning on you. We can sit and spin and throw an ice pick off that off block. Kick out block, that's when, again, people are leaving you, and all of a sudden here comes somebody to kick you out. We don't want you to come screaming upfield. You come screaming upfield, this gap gets bigger for this linebacker to make the tackle in. We want you to squeeze this thing down and condense the alley or condense this gap in what we call cross shoulder. Okay, in which we throw our outside shoulder into this pulling guard's inside shoulder and basically create a big old mess right there as we cross shoulder a kick out block. The fifth and final is going to be basic, just where they're setting up pass blocking, and we're into our best pass rush move. So we're going to punch and rip. We're going to punch and swim over the top. We're going to get into our best pass rush move when we see a pass block. Okay, so those are the 5 different blocks that we're going to see and how we react to them. But I will say the most important thing for a defensive lineman is their toughness. You got to be a tough guy. You got to be a badass. But you got to have to give great effort. You can't ever keep your foot off the gas. A great D lineman is sprinting always towards the football, and he just has a motor that just won't stop. You see him a lot on Sundays, and you probably read about him and know who they are in the NFL. But you got to have a great attitude. You got to be a badass, and you just have to have the mentality of I'm going to beat the guy across from me all the time. And you see those guys like J.J. Watt has a great motor. He doesn't stop playing. He just has relentless effort, and that's what makes a great defensive line play, is simply being a badass. And you don't have to be big. You don't have to be big to play defensive line. You have to be quick. It's great to be explosive, smart, nasty characteristics that you really don't measure in the weight room as much as maybe other positions. But these are all just people that are really, really tough guys and need to be the tough guys of the team. Okay, so there's a lot of characteristics that have nothing to do with how fast you are or how strong you are when it comes to playing.